Okay, recording. What's up? What's up? What's up? Yo, yo, yo. This is Mango with. Go ahead and introduce yourself real quick.
I'm BP Skurai. Hey, hi
All
guys.
right. So we just put this thing real together last minute. Hey, dude, do you have the game lobby up? Are you able to hurry up and jump in with me?
I'm here, the unrated ones. I
Yeah,
don't know. Is it is it
it's banana and inevitable.
TJ?
Yeah,
Great. Okay. Oh wow, this is a tough matchup.
yeah, it's gonna be interesting. Yeah, so this is gonna be a real half, you know what, video because I was just like, hey, you want to do this? He's like, oh, okay, why not? And then I was like, oh, damn, they started already. So I don't know how the volume levels or anything like that's coming through. So we'll see how it looks at the end.
That's right.
Hey,
It's
dude,
bad they already started, but
it's all
yeah,
right.
I mean, it's
How
a
much?
rough one for a Moonstalker.
Yeah, how much of the World Championship weekend did you catch?
Um, well, I think I started. I was there all week and pretty much missed a little bit of Saturdays, early games, but I was there pretty much for everything. Yeah, it's a good tournament. I feel like it's the best one so far, even.
Yeah, I was
Although I can't remember the first first ones.
the first one. Oh, well, how long you been around?
And I actually been around for a while. I've been around for probably 8 years or something. I caught the game back in version one point something. So yeah,
Oh wow, so you have been around for a pretty good amount of time then.
yeah. From what I remember, I mean they already patched Blood Frenzy and yeah, like right after that, because I never remember seeing that card play for two resources. That was insane.
Can you imagine that? That thing would be broken. I mean, honestly, it's a broken card, even at 3 resources. But it's just that
Yeah, I
there's,
mean
yeah, it's like give me a
it's
break.
what makes Warriors go. Yeah.
Yeah, but it's like if they came out with that card today, people would lose their freaking mind. Like, what the is this broken crap?
Yeah, that's right. I mean, yeah, and some of the other ones as well from back in the first batch called the Crystals. And that's the tendency for most card games, I feel. Like they always screw it up in the first one and then try to patch it up. It's just normal.
Oh yeah, and by the way, this video was just we just put it there real quick. It's for pop-up finals. So pop-ups at the moment they're player-run tournaments, but I know Kyle is working on having an automated system within the game. That's what was running for the World Championships. So oh, and there's a freaking tidal wave, our favorite card in the game. And, and this
Yeah.
is
How many he dropped already?
that's the first one.
Oh, you're a few seconds, yeah, in
Oh
front of
yeah,
me.
yeah, you came in. Yeah, he'll be dropping it right now. You should catch up to me
Yeah,
shortly.
I just got it. I like this Moonstalker with the new weapons and how to try. I mean, I feel like it's a tough deck you know, to to pilot, but I think I like it. I just the meta right now. I feel like it's a lot of item destruction, so I don't know about playing that.
Yeah, for me, I've tried playing. I tried playing Moonstalker a couple of times, and I suck at it, man. I don't know what I'm doing wrong. All I know is I go, okay, yeah, I'm supposed to hold on to my shadow energy so I can hide like 4 or 5 times in a row, and then all of a sudden I'm dead. Okay, what the hell did I do wrong? I don't, I don't, I don't even
Or
know
you
what
run out
happened.
of draw.
Yeah, so I'm like, okay. So I mean, I know Inevitable really killed with this deck on ladder before,
Yeah,
and
he was like first place for a while.
no, he's a good player. He's been around a while. It's too bad he didn't go to. I don't know if he even played in the weekend or not. Do you remember if he was there at all?
He was commentating from what I can. I don't remember that well, but yeah, I think he was. I don't remember him playing though.
Yeah, a lot of people.
Maybe, yeah. I don't know.
I think it's just tough for some people to dedicate a whole weekend to it. You know.
Most definitely, yeah. I feel like I would have problems with that. But
Uh,
I mean, the pool price was really good this year and previous years as well. So I can see how one would trade the weekend for a few $1,000. But
yeah,
yeah,
it wouldn't be a bad dig, but you have to make sure your butt actually wins. Otherwise,
yeah, it all depends how you feel about it. Yeah,
let me see. So
because
yeah,
I
the
bet.
no, go ahead, dude.
Well,
Go ahead.
no, because I bet all these guys go in with a feeling they can win it, or pretty confident, and they're all pretty good at it. Like
Well, yeah,
they have
I
so
mean,
much experience.
why else would you play unless you thought maybe you could win, right? You're gonna be in there like, ah, what the hell? I'll go in, but I ain't gonna win.
Yeah,
That was pretty much me in regional. I was like, ah, whatever. I'm not gonna, I'm not going anywhere.
it's just Shadow, right? It's all about who you take, like what hero you pick. I feel like that's such a big decision for a tournament.
Well, yeah,
That yeah,
look at Trino, right? Trino took Yithin, and
yeah, that was the highlight of the weekend in some sort. Yeah,
we're like, what the
and he did pretty
hell
well with it. I was impressed for.
for
I
Yithin,
mean,
right?
yeah,
Yeah,
for I mean, it was ingenious. Yeah,
yeah. I think, but
I
they
liked
have
a lot of a few
what?
decks of the week. I mean, I
Well, yeah,
remember a few good ones.
yeah, yeah. You even had Logan in there, which was interesting, and this guy, uh, Jericho was in there too. Made it all the way to the
Yeah,
top
that's
four.
that's
So
uh,
that was I was like, oh, all right.
that Jerry was interesting. Yeah,
And then just in
I mean,
general,
pretty
right?
standard, but it's just
Yeah.
seeing him take it that far. That's pretty good. I mean, the healing from the what's the new card? The um, all art. All, what's his
Adler,
name? That priest.
yeah,
Yeah,
Adler, and then Night Crimson Dust gives you heal too, and so it's like you almost don't need to be Zana anymore. And even if you're Zana, sometimes you would go back and forth like, oh, do I heal or do I use my Shadow Energy for this? But with those two allies healing all the time now, it's like, nah, I don't need to worry about healing, so I might as well be Jericho and have some tech, against attachments, like pretty much just warrior.
yeah. Ever since I came back to Shadow Era, I've settled a little bit on Jericho for he's such a like a big tech against everyone. It's just I feel I don't know. I feel confident just being him and jumping in that queue in the quick match because yeah, you pretty much have a good chance against anybody.
Yeah, well, that's how priests are, right? I mean, they're pretty solid against everything, but they're not like overpowering against anything either, right? So it's like you always have a good opportunity, but you're never just gonna really end up with some matchups, except for maybe Yithin actually, Yithin and Elementalis, where you feel like, yeah, I could just wipe the board and I'll be good, and I'll probably end up taking this. But everything else, you're like, yeah, you feel confident, but you're not like, oh, I got this nailed down.
Yeah, his ability really does it for me. It's gotten better with the years, of course, with the added cards. But now, I mean, taking Blood Frenzy, that's so huge for me. Just yeah, I almost never play Sand anymore. It's just yeah, why? Well, unless you're not going the attachment route. That's
Oh
right now.
yeah,
How many waves did he just played? I
I
just
think
caught it.
this
Like
I think
I
this is
just saw
just
him play
his.
another one.
Yeah, I think he's at 3 now, right?
Right. I think
You're
he's
on
missing.
you're on turn
So now,
13.
now at this point, it's where things get really interesting. Yeah.
Yeah, because he's only at 7. He's at 7 health, but he has the embers in hand and he's able to heal every time he uses it. And Inevitable has no way to really, do anything
Close it
against
out
that.
quickly.
Yeah.
Yeah. He does have the ally with I mean those hasted wolves, but yeah, he would have to do something here to probably gonna
This,
take his own attachment and then put another one in. I mean you're a few seconds in front of me, so I don't know if he already did that action.
nah, you know I would be surprised if he didn't have is like at least one copy of Savagery in there for that quick closeout.
Oh yeah. Oh here. Yeah, he's healing. Probably doesn't have much draw. I think it's a pretty tight game here.
See, oh, there's the Lightning
Oh,
Hunters.
there he goes.
Yep. So he's buffed
And
his
it's
weapon up.
probably over since if he doesn't have that wave in hand.
Oh, nice.
Oh, never mind. Yep.
And
Well, that's a tough stack lamp. I mean, well, these guys know what they're doing. So
oh, but it kept him from getting health back with Adler that turn because his ally was gone. So no allies got hit
that's
with his
true.
summon. Oh, there we go. That's how he's gonna close it out right
Yeah,
there.
that's what I'm talking about. They know what they're doing. Yeah, These guys know their deck to a point.
Nice. Yeah. See, I'll play Inevitable's deck on ladder, and I'll lose 7 out of 10. Like not even it's not even close.
Nice.
Yeah, that was a pretty cool close. All right. So we'll just wait for the next one to pop up. And so, what did you think overall though about
The world champs.
about the being what he brought? I mean, Vess.
Oh, that was really interesting build. What surprised me the most when he posted the list, I thought he had like a bunch of what's it called, two resource ally, the Ravager. What's he called? His 1/5.
Oh yeah,
The
Vermin.
Ravenous.
Yeah, the Vermin. Yeah, Ravenous Vermin
The
or
Vermin. Yeah, I
yeah.
thought he had a bunch of those, and he only played two. Kept seeing that whole tournament.
I know. You're like, what the hell? It's
Yeah,
actually it was interesting because I talked to him earlier today, and he had told me that he did have Fuzum in there, so he was playing around with two cost allies because that's always like your first go to when you're building a deck, right? It's like okay, yeah, I gotta have some early allies for early pressure, and but he said
yeah, and
he
especially if playing the spear. I've had a version of that vest. I mean, not closely, but I played a spear vest before, and really awesome. Yeah, and you put it up to four, kill anything on the other side. It's a solid start when going first. And then if you don't, well, you have like the way of the attachments, like Cripping Blow and all that stuff.
yeah, but it
But
was it
yes,
was yeah, it was interesting though. You see that how he said he played with it for months, like trying to figure out the best thing for it. And I mean,
it does seem that way because the list is so tight. Like everything is like, I mean, tuned out. It feels like it's really tuned. And like most vests, I mean, I feel comfortable with vests, mostly playing him around 50 or upwards, like in card count. And because I feel like he draws so much that you can like the 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 deck. If you bring a thin deck like below 50, they can really you can run out of cards quick. And I mean that happened to him in a few games where he just didn't have any more creatures and stuff like any allies. But yeah, it's really fine tuned. When I saw a list, that's when I kind of noticed I would probably play him. I mean that he probably trialed that deck for a while before arriving at that list. It's really good. Yeah.
and what the hell are they doing right now? What are they doing? Did they take a lunch
I don't
break or
know.
what?
I'm here, and they don't
Jeez,
seem to get started. But
some guys, man, just play the damn games. Get. Let me see what the hell they're doing in there. I'm gonna go tell them, hurry, get your butts back in there. Well, it'll be interesting when it's all automated, though. I'm kind of curious how that's gonna work out.
yeah, finally they're gonna really do it. It sounds fun. I mean, is it gonna be with tickets or just get free entry or get pay Shadow Crystal?
You know,
Any
I,
idea on how it's gonna be?
I'm not sure, but I would think like most games, right, will have something like that, and oh, it looks like they have it almost up, and like I wouldn't mind if it was like there was some free ones, and then there was other ones where you had to pay and you got better prizes, right? That's just par for the course. Okay, game is up,
Sure. Oh, GameStop. Okay.
right? Like if you have to pay like 50 shadow crystals for this prize
I
or a
wouldn't
hundred.
mind. It's a good way of monetizing the game without you know while offering good things.
Yeah, and this game
I
is
would
already
definitely go
really
for it.
this game is really free to play friendly too, so it's like
That's true.
you can't really
Yeah,
complain
I've
too
really
much.
gone around the TCGs in the App Store and all that, and I can confirm Shadow is probably the cheapest one to play.
Too player friendly to start with, probably,
Right.
but
Most definitely, yeah. I
all
just got into another game called Spellweaver or something, and that one's really they really milk you out. It takes a lot to get the collection. So yeah, I was really. I mean, I've been feeling really grateful for Kyle and Shadow Era is it's all free. I've never really. I mean, I bought it. Like I spent a lot in Shadow Era, but it's mostly because I feel like like the Kickstarter and everything. I have to do my part there, and I
yeah.
always like getting the foils and you know
N-
just supporting the creators. But you don't really need to. I mean, I had the cards when I started, like just grinding in a few days. I had everything. Well, back then there weren't many cards as now, but back when I started, but yeah,
Yeah, I think for me it was well, that's also what I really liked about it was the free to play aspect. But then also there's not like certain cards that you have to have. I know other card games are like you have to have so many cards and then you like bundle them together or something, and hopefully you get a good card or you get a special foil or something. Like I know other games are kind of like that, but it's like nah, these you can actually, as long as you grind away, you can just get the cards you want from the merchant. You just go and you could buy any rarity from the common to the legendary. It doesn't matter.
that's true. Yeah, and even the foils are relatively easy to get. I mean, I've been getting around my collection, and yeah, I feel it's pretty accessible, pretty good. Uh, did you jump in the game? I can't seem to find the game.
Uh, Wait a minute. I was in a game, but it was
Oh my god, is it the
Colo-
one that started like 18 minutes ago?
why
It's
why
game
are
two,
they
right?
no why is Inevitable playing Colossal? Oh, that wasn't the finals. This is the finals.
Oh, really? Collie
Yeah.
and Event. Oh my god, the good one.
Oops.
All right.
All right. Well, okay. Yeah. So Conley and Inevitable are the finals. Well, that was well done on my part. Let me see.
Uh, that
So
Moonstalker. I mean, I'm impressed. He really got over that Jerry. Collie's been impressive so far. I mean, lately he's been getting foreign tournaments and stuff. And yeah, Collie, he's been around forever too.
no, he has, huh? He's been around since probably the onset of the game itself, hasn't he?
Yeah, back when I started, he was already around. Not, I think he wasn't in a guild back then. I think he joined. I don't remember exactly, but at one point he joined um, Blue Phoenix, and that's when. Yeah, but that was way back. Yeah, it's been around forever.
That's what I remember. Blue, and then when I started, I think there was I know ETC was still around, and that was always, I said it
Yeah,
before, that was always my favorite guild gimmick. Like how everybody had something they made up for ETC. That was always fun.
yeah,
I was always like if I was gonna join a
good
guild I
times.
would, but I never did. I played solo. Jeez, I think my account says I joined in 2012, and
Oh
I was
wow.
yeah I was just on quick match until like I think 2016 or 2017, and then that's when I finally like joined into the community. So
Oh
I
really?
yeah
Wow, that was a long time.
yeah so
So
I
you
was
really
just
like the game for? I mean, just playing quick games for like how many years? That's
yeah, what is that? 7 years, man. 7 years of my life.
wow.
Yeah, so I've
Well,
been
I
around a
actually
while
spent
too.
like that's insane. Yeah, I spent like probably 1 year or two before I like I think I just hopped in the forums and somebody recruited me and yeah, that was that. Back then there weren't that many guilds. It was TJ, A1, ETC, but ETC was like one of the newest ones. And then you had like which one? I'm missing one.
Back then,
Well,
what
the Chinese one.
KS or not? RS. There was
Okay, yeah,
RS, and KA, right?
yeah. RS, that one came a little bit later. I feel like Rising Sun.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then wow, back then I can't even remember because there was one before Blue Phoenix called what was it called? The one started by um, Rafael Majere.
I think you're
Wow, I
getting
just
before my
butchered his
time,
name.
dude. I'm pretty
Probably,
sure.
yeah. I think.
Yeah.
Well, I don't. Can't really remember, but yeah. But I mean, the game's been good all throughout. I think it's just people just run out of. I mean, I didn't. I never quit, but I did. I was missing for a few years,
Yeah, there
but
was
I
a couple.
always kept playing.
Yeah, there was a couple times that I left and then came back, and that was the funny thing is like I've also gone and tried out other card games, and for some reason I always just ended up coming back to this one. and never look back to any of the other ones.
I think it's just really handy. I mean, you can play it anywhere. Yeah, it's in your pocket. I mean, I just I used to play the because I mean back then I don't know you remember we're not even commenting about the game. This game's really good though. And it seems like TJ has this one inevitable. Wow, I can't even say his name right.
Yeah, he's really making a big push here with all these allies. The Robin Hood with buffing all. People got to remember if you're playing Robin Hood, be careful because it buffs all woven and wild, not just your own. So you put it
Yeah,
down.
wild
So your opponent has any in hand in play, it'll also buff them. I think people always forget that, and then they end up screwing
for
themselves over.
sure. Yeah, I totally neglect the wild allies. Yeah,
Well, just the fact that it buffs their opponents too.
yeah. I wish there was a way to like. I've tried playing the wild allies
Ooh,
a few times. It's just I feel like they need a boost. Hopefully they get that in the new collection or
yeah. Well, like with most things, right? In time, or somebody will figure something out. I mean, look, we never would have thought that Vest would have even been in day two, right? But it took one player. He's not like he's a nobody, right? Bean's a good player. He's been around off and on too for a while, so it's not really like a surprise that he figured something out. But he did, and he brought a hero that nobody really would have ever thought to bring, and he was confident in it, and he ended up taking the whole damn thing. So it's like, damn, there's always gonna be somebody that figures something out.
yeah, it's really good, unexpected, and yeah, I've figured. I mean, I've fiddled with Vest too, but when I play Vest for some reason, I always gravitate towards more of a this item destruction and an ability destruction with the Ravagers, and I always want to keep that in. I feel that that's such a tool. But he kept the best of it with the Birdman, and then went his own way. It was really well done.
Yeah, and he also didn't have any smashing blows in there. You gotta remember that, right? He didn't. So Warriors have one of the better weapon and armor destruction cards. 3 cost, destroy
Yeah,
armor or weapon.
that's what really surprised me about when he overcame that Jericho. Like he, besides the like dealing with the item, I mean with the attachment destruction, he he took like two King's Pride at one point. Like every game, he would have to deal with that shield, and he had a limited amount of allies in that deck, so it was surprising that he could do it. But yeah, he knew what he was doing. Also, having a bunch of items there probably helps with it.
Yeah, I guess maybe that was his thinking, right? It's like, yeah, I won't have item destruction. So, but instead of 2 smashing blows, I'll have 2 vermin, right? And so, like, even if you're up against a weapon hero like Amber, well, you're gonna have Blood Frenzy. You're gonna have Jeweler's Dream. You'll probably have Crippling Blows in play. So it gives you the opportunity to still get rid of the weapon. So
Yeah,
I suppose that
just
probably could have
chipping
been his
away.
thinking. Yeah, that probably was his thinking. I didn't think about that until you mentioned it right now. But
Yeah,
so
the
that's
deck's really fine tuned. I feel like he went through, probably had that at some point and then cut it.
well,
But
yeah. If
yeah,
you build,
that list was so tight. I mean, 50 cards on a vest. I don't mind having him up to 60, but then you have, of course, you don't have the consistency for that first. Oh yeah,
yeah. So
I just
inevitable
finished
took it.
watching the game here, and yeah, I feel like that push where he attacked back when I mentioned with the three allies really
Yep.
did close the game for him there.
Yeah, and then the stealth. He
Yeah,
has.
like you say, he was saving it.
And it's something like there's a lot of stealth tech now, right? There's ground shift that kills stealth. There's Keon that kills stealth. There's
Keon, that's yeah,
Vol. I mean, so there's options now, but still, whenever you play against Moonstalker, you're always like, God damn it! Like I don't want to play this game because you know that you know there's gonna be those 3 turns,
right in a
back to
row.
back to back where you're just sitting there playing with yourself because you can't do a damn thing about it.
Yeah, your best chance is to get him early before he can. get to that point where he's all set up for downloading a bunch of allies and
Yeah,
trying
unless
to
you're like a
stick.
mage. If you're a mage, you're pretty good off. I still think
Right,
if you're
that's
a
horrible matchup for him. Yeah,
yeah, I think a warrior is still pretty good off, especially like Boris because his ability will eat through stealth anyway. You have crippling blows, you have retreats, you have marksman probably. But I don't know. There's one thing I noticed. Okay, the next game's up. Let's go ahead and jump in there to see if Inevitable
oh,
takes
is
it
it up
2-0.
already? I'm
Yeah.
watching Callie here. Okay, I'm just getting in.
No, yeah, because I mean, I noticed Boris getting a lot more different styles. You know, the standard Boris used to be like four knights, and then maybe some seductress, some priest of the light, some Alden, and then
Yeah,
maybe
that was probably the most success I've had in tournaments back playing that kind of Boris back then.
yeah, the classic Boris. Because you got seductress, right? So you're able to stun people. You're able to stun on someone, and then you have crippling blow, and then you have retreat. And so it's like you have all this early game control that usually you're able to manipulate the board in, into your mid game, and then that's when you start to take it away. But now you see Boris with a lot of different. I've seen him with a lot now with Yari. People are starting to figure out some Yari stuff. They're starting to throw in the weaponsmith and add some weapons to him. And then you have Plunderer to bring back the weapons to hit
Yeah,
again.
Plunder, that's such a game changer. Yeah, I mean, game changer, sorry. Yeah, because you can bring back that tooth and you can do a bunch of things with it. It's really good. I feel like that's really unlocked a lot of I mean, solved a lot of problems
Oh
with
yeah, having the
Boris.
dragons to like it would be destroyed. Like you probably get one
Right.
kill with a big ally, but now it's like nope,
Yeah,
I got it back. What's up?
right. That's huge. Because back then you have to like pack a few of them. Because yeah, they will always even wait for it, especially against priest. So
Ooh,
now it's pretty good. I mean, and the game here is going well for both. I mean,
well, Kali
yeah, I
got
feel
his
like last game.
wrath.
Yeah, that's what I was gonna say. Because last game he kind of ran out of cards there.
And generally, Moonstalker doesn't have anything to get rid of armor like that. Maybe he'll run Leyline Nexus for King's Pride or weapons, but I bet you that Wrath of the Force is going to stay there. So, but every ally that dies, he's going to draw a card, and I bet you the only way he can whittle that down is by actually hitting into it.
Yeah, so that's good setup for Collie right there. Turn 4, definitely. Did he start this game? I couldn't notice.
It looks like he did because Heavy's on turn 4 right now.
Oh, that's right. So
So,
yeah, I
yeah,
mean
I,
they
I
both got the
actually
draw going.
I was in the first round. I lost to Kali. I was playing Ravager. The first two games we played were really good. We split them 1-1. The third game, with Ravagers, when you play those combo decks, every game you get, sometimes you get the game where things just don't set up right. You just go turn after turn after turn. You're like shit. That, this is
Yeah,
and that
sometimes it just goes that way.
yeah, and he was able to. And Banebo is such a good control hero that he was able to just keep me locked down, and I told him good game at like turn 3 because I already had a feeling, and I ended up being right. It was like 10 turns later, I think, when it was finally over. But it was like sometimes, especially you play this game long enough, you can kind of see the writing on the wall sometimes. Like,
Yeah, yeah. Even though like this game tied, but sometimes you just you get those top decking fails. Like yeah, but right
oh
here it looks pretty good for Collie. I mean,
yeah, he had a pretty solid start. I mean, eventually he's going to be able to hide, and uh,
sure he'll survive for a little bit, but he'll have to deal with the allies before going at the Wrath of the Forest. So that's gonna give him more cards.
is he going to
Oh, there
hide
he
here?
goes.
Will he hide or
Pro-
no?
I, I would I would probably
See, he's
do it
thinking
for
about it.
just keeping the weapon.
I think he wants to get his last draw though, because Blood Moon, he won't draw if he's hiding.
Oh, that's true. Yeah,
No,
that was
he decided.
probably
He
his
decided it.
reasoning there.
Yeah, he wanted to hold on to the durability of the weapon. So, yeah, but I don't know because the Tinker's probably still gonna die anyway because you have Banebo's ability and you have Thaddeus ready to go too. So it was a
Yeah,
tough choice.
he's probably just trying to
And
keep
Gambit
the weapon a lot. I mean, with a lot of
durability. Yeah.
because he can bring that Yeah, tinker back probably with Moonstalker now has like so much
Oh no, he can't bring it back.
oh yeah,
Yeah,
that's gonna hurt.
this one, it kind of feels like he's not gonna be able to come. Oh, never mind.
Oh,
They're
the crutcher.
interesting.
Oh, that's an interesting choice. Yeah, but I feel he knows what he knows he's dead because I mean, yeah. Otherwise, he would lose the creature. I mean, the ally right here.
Yeah, right. Because Thaddeus can ping him ability damage. He can't do anything about it. Well, let's see if he has another gambit though. Yep, and he does.
Yeah. What are your thoughts on that? The crusher. You like the card,
Oh man, I loved it before they nerfed his health.
right? I think it's a little bit too much. I don't know.
I mean, I felt like
It
five
feels
health
right
was
now,
okay.
but like I don't think it's anything special.
Yeah, it's kind of hard to have a six cost card that only has four health, in my opinion. I'm like, yeah, I know. I mean, I guess yeah, you summon it and you can exile an ally, right? You can get rid of an ally. That's a
Yeah, you
lot of
have to get
value.
the value out of it right there. Yeah,
But
and
I mean,
probably just time it real good.
I don't
See if
remember
he
a lot of
sticks.
people. I don't remember a lot of people being like, "Hey, Crusher's crazy overpowered. You got to lower that health." I mean,
No, I never really even played him a lot ever since he got that health reduction. Yeah,
I'm gonna have to ask
because
Veles
oh yeah,
because I had to design Veles. Like Veles, what did you do? Why?
oh he's pretty good. I mean,
No, he's a
uh,
smart guy when it comes to the game.
yeah,
Oh, well, I guess the only good. No, never. Damn. Like here, I thought he was gonna have to at least lose one ally, but no.
sinkhole. That's good card.
Ooh, lost a Soul Seeker though. But I still don't know if Navy's gonna be able to turn this around, right? I mean, it feels like
It's rough for Moonstalker because you pretty much have to go like one ally at a time. You don't have like that ward wiping card.
so Moonstar, so another heavy ballista.
Probably gonna drop a hasted ally or something. Yeah,
Oh, yep, Lightning Hunter. Okay, so he'll be able to get rid of the Death Collector,
Death Collector. Yeah.
or does he go into the hero to kill the armor? Yep, that's what he
Oh,
decides to do.
it's a good choice. Yeah, I mean,
He's got to get rid of
he
that
does
armor.
have to go for that because otherwise he's gonna eventually lose the game
Yeah,
since
Wrath of
he
the
doesn't have
Forest
more.
is probably one of the best draw engines, to be honest. It really is. I mean, it's an armor card, so there's a lot of choice. Oh, damn. He
The
just,
horror.
God, he just can't. Oh, wait. I gotta go throwback to the World
Oh.
Champ. The horror! The
Yeah,
horror!
I was listening. That was all weekend with the horror.
Yeah.
So many horrors.
John was like, God, this guy needs to shut up and get off my stream. He's like, why did I let this guy on? Jesus. Oh,
It
that's right.
caught on. I mean, it plays in my mind whenever I see the horror now.
Whenever you see a horror. Sorry about that. It's going to be with you for the rest of your Shadow Era gaming career as long as the game is alive. Which is actually a funny note, right? Because there's been so many trading card games that have come along. Shadow Era not even close to being one of the more popular ones, but a lot of them have phased out or faded away, and this one is still here somehow.
Yeah, it does have like I feel like against the competitors it keeps that card. I mean, card game feel because all these other card games they have like you can't really. It feels more like a video game than a card game, in my opinion.
Really?
Especially with Hearthstone,
Oh,
like you have all these chips, and what I like about Shadow Era, to be honest, is like you see the board exactly how you would see it in a physical playing game. You know, like you have the cards right there, and I
oh,
think they're gonna
okay.
change that soon. I don't know. Totally early.
Well, the only thing, like, I would like it to stay like this, but I can see what you're saying. The thing that I would just hope they they clean up. I've said it over and over again. It's just those card interactions, the battle interactions. Oh, all
Right, you
right.
can definitely
Speed
upgrade a
that up.
lot. Yep, that it was still a rough game to come back from. But yeah, I feel like they can improve a lot, but still keeping like the cards, the look of the cards, like the full card. Because again, like what I like about having all these foils and everything is it's just being able to play them. If they would become like this little token or animation thing, where I don't know how I would feel about it. Because then yeah, you would only see the foil cards in your hand, and then they would become like this little token. I don't know.
No, I understand what you're saying. It does actually retain like that. Uh, what's that word? Like serendipity is like takes you back. It takes you back. Oh yeah, when you're first playing card games, like yeah, your actual card games, games up, games up, games up,
Oh,
and
games up. Okay.
yeah, and so yeah, I guess that's probably part of maybe it is part of the reason why I keep coming back to it too. It does have like a classic feel to it, but those interactions, I just want those interactions. If they're just sped up even by 100%, it would cut down the game times a lot. I mean, you're cutting the game time in half doing something like that. That's pretty incredible, and the games would go by so much faster.
Right.
And
Yeah,
then,
definitely add some speed to it, especially for people who've been playing this for a while.
then I think people who play wouldn't. I honestly think that if the game goes faster, that people wouldn't complain as much about control decks because the control decks get a lot of hate. But I also think it's just because sometimes the games can go a little long, right? And so that's why people really hate it. Oh wow, look at that! He actually has Eye of the Forest in there.
Yeah, the item, that's interesting. I wonder how many copies he keeps in there.
Probably, probably only has like two. I'm guessing. Uh, that one is see, and this is the other thing about Shadow Era, right? Do you remember 2 championships ago when Bloodfang just wrecked everything because he had that item, the Eye of
Right.
the Forest, and but it was two durability, and it's incredible how in this game
One. Yeah.
one,
And that's probably because of the digits, because they should have. Well, I mean, I don't want to say they should have, but it's easier to balance that out when you have like bigger numbers, like 10, 20. You can put 25, and you can always make it like half. But going from 1 to 2, that's a really big jump there. And 2 to 3, it's just big gap, and just so crucial for all those for the start of a game.
no, yeah, and I mean at two durability it was broken. At one durability it's kind of hardly used. So it's really hard to balance this game, and so I mean
Yeah, that's
everybody
part
gives.
of
Oh
Shadow.
wow, he's got it turned four again.
Yep,
This
that's a good setup for a calling
yeah,
game
but
because you have that
it doesn't
that
feel
weevil.
exactly as bad as last time though yet, right? It's still
No,
gotta
there's
wait to
always
see.
chance, of course. There's nothing settled, but I mean that weevil combination's good because he won't be able to really hack at the wrath with the weapon.
Yeah, no, and he does have Dreadwolf, right? The 3 cost hasted ally. So he might just play that just to go in and take that out.
The Harbing, yeah. Oh, you mean the weevil?
Dreadwolf.
Yeah,
Yeah, yeah. Just go in to get rid of the Weevil and to get rid of and to put a ping on the armor too.
yeah. Moonstalker is hard to pilot, man. I feel the same way as you. Like it's always hard, have a hard time sacrificing cards in my hand, for research and stuff. You really have to know what you're gonna do
I think that's
because
the
once
part.
you lose the
Yeah,
board, it's really hard.
I think that's the part that I like about the most about Shadow Arrow, though, right? Is that like Hearthstone. I don't know. Yeah, I can see how people have fun playing it, but just the fact that every turn you get another mana to spend, another mana to spend, it feels like there's less thinking involved. You don't really have to, you know,
Yeah,
be that strategic about it.
it's dumb. I mean, is I feel like they simplified it just for popularity's sake, like
Yeah.
for making it like digestible for more of a bigger audience. And Shadow Era is right like in between the middle of a hardcore TCG and just like a normal MTG Yu-Gi-Oh feel. Like it's what I was probably back. I mean, I was getting to that point, and I think I completely jumped out of out of what I was talking before. I was saying like Shadow Era. I don't know if you ever played the WoW TCG, World of Warcraft,
Yeah, I
where
played World of
Shadow Era got a
Warcraft.
lot of it from it.
No, I played World of Warcraft, but I didn't play the WoW Trading Card game. I did not.
That was probably around during 2010 or 2000. I don't remember, like 2007 or something. And it went on for a few years before it died out. But yeah, it's really the same game, but without shadow energy. And it was interesting. I mean, and it was really hard to balance it out. It died out because it's just spiraled into some crazy overpowered cards. And yeah, it's just really hard to.
Well, I think
I mean,
that's what's kind of kept this game alive, right? Is there's been a lot of players that have volunteered to help keep it alive by balancing and doing whatever. Woo! There goes that guy. And just to keep it running, to keep it balanced, to keep people from saying, "Ah, screw this, I'm out." Oh, the
oh, the
horror!
horror, yeah.
And he's gone. So, actually,
It's a
that's a
turning. I feel like there's a turning point in the game here.
wow. Look at inevitable shadow energy.
Yeah,
I mean, I don't even know how many turns of
but yeah,
hiding that is. One, two,
Sorry,
three,
what?
four. That's like what, six straight turns of hiding? Maybe
Yeah,
more. Oh, here we go.
this. Yeah, this turn's gonna determine a lot if you can get rid of those both allies here.
Yeah, well, all you need is a gambit. Hey, what is the worst deck that you remember coming around where you're like, okay, this deck, it's making me, I'm leaving. I'm leaving until they fix this. Do you have any of those?
Oh wow.
Oh, the horror!
I feel like it was Victor at one point. Can't
Oh,
remember when, but
um,
it's just too much. He would just never ran out of cards.
you're talking about the one where Burnout won the championship, right? Like 3 years ago.
Damn, can't remember. But yeah, it was probably what was it? I can't.
It
Just
had,
recycling the gambits or something.
yep, the Gambits would go to the graveyard, and then he had Anmore's Call was 3 cost, and so all
Yeah,
his
that
allies,
was
yeah,
tough
that
because I used to play a lot of Serena, and you couldn't just keep the gambits like out of the game because they kept coming back so unfair. Because good thing about gambits, like you can't really get rid of your draw option, like unless they discard it, of course. But even then, you can bring it back. Yeah, it's a great card.
yeah, and they nerfed the hell out of that deck after he won. Remember, they upped Anmore's cost to 4. They made Gambit be exiled. They took away the cantrip draw, the draw 1 card from Overwhelm. There might be more. I'm
Yeah,
not sure, but they beat the hell
those
out of that
yeah those
deck.
were tough times for me because also Victor just he feels so like I don't know frustrating because he can kill. You're just dropping allies and they're gonna die. And yeah,
Yeah, people. I know there's it's kind of like a split, right? There's people that say, oh, I don't like Victor's ability because it doesn't kill, but it's like, dude, it brings him down to 1 life. I mean, there's a lot
the
of
best
options to
part of
figure
it is
out.
the card you get with it. It's just that I feel like that's gonna like be so hard to like balance out in the future with new cards coming out because you always have to think about that ability whenever you're creating a hunter card. Just
Victor,
yeah, the
how's Victor?
recycling that's huge
Yeah,
for Shadow Era. I think just
yeah. There's and it looks like I kind of feel like Inevitable's just barely starting to streak ahead here, but that ability coming every 3 turns to help ping away those low health allies is really helping.
yeah, he just ran out of it. So let's see how it goes. I mean, the great resistance here is really makes it tougher for
That's
TJ Inevitable.
one of the few. Is that the only 0 cost card?
Well, the shackles,
Oh, Shackles,
there's
Shackles. That's right, that's right.
and let me see if there's any other. Yeah, I think those are the two one.
So does he go face here or does he clear the board? He can't clear the board because the grave
Yeah,
resistance is
it's
down.
not worth it really.
Well, I mean, would you have? I almost wonder because his hand is so low. Like if you would have attacked into a horror, you would have drew two cards there, right? Because Tinker would have died, and then he would have activated Sujaw's ability.
Yeah, I'm guessing he's gonna probably do that now, and he probably gonna yeah. Well, I don't know.
Well, like I said, I
He
don't
can. Yeah,
question
I
him.
wouldn't hold out if I could get my ability again.
Yeah, I don't
'Cause,
question inevitable playing this deck anyway.
yeah, he has it down.
Yeah, I don't have any right to be like, oh, he should do this. It's like, what the? Shut
Oh,
up. Oh,
interesting. How he got that?
with Riding Hood. Remember whenever,
Oh,
yeah, whenever Riding Hood deals damage, you get to draw a card.
nice
Yeah.
draw.
Okay, so he's able to take out the horror. So he wanted to save his allies. Doesn't want to lose any. So what will
Yeah,
he
at
do
this
here?
point, everything you can keep is important because you don't have much draw going on here.
Would you have attacked with the Riding Hood instead to save the
Yeah, I
Sukja?
definitely would have done that for because he's gonna get that clear now. But I don't know. He probably knows what he's doing.
No, he knows what he's doing. We established this. I don't know why I keep questioning this guy. The hell am I to tell?
I mean, it's probably the same thing
This
since
guy
he's
was.
gonna be able to attack with the other allies, and he would have killed his Sue's jaw anyway. But
Yeah,
interesting
that's true.
choice. I mean, they're pretty much tied here. I feel
Yeah,
like,
it feels pretty close because Bambos has his ability ready. He'll be able to clear the board right now if he wants to.
but yeah, but I mean, Moonstoker does have a little card advantage going on with that.
Oh,
The ability
there we
Blood
go.
Moon.
It's gonna get even worse for him right now. Especially if he does another shroud. Well, we'll see. We'll see if he does the shroud into an ally, and then nope. So he's not gonna sack lam it. So he's just bringing it back. Just wants to thin his opponent's
Yeah,
graveyard. Yeah, he has to get rid of those crushers, right? Because crusher exiling three or less. Basically, all of Kali's deck is three or less allies. So you want to get rid of that guy. You don't want that getting recycled.
that's true. Yeah, that's the key card, and he most definitely will recycle more allies here. Does
You
he have
remember
that ability that gets you card from the graveyard? What's it called?
Woven Rally?
A rally. Yeah.
I don't think anybody uses that card.
That's true. It's not really worth having in
I
the
mean,
deck,
it's probably got as much usage rate as Campfire Stories.
but that's true. It's not worth the space.
Did you remember?
Saturday.
You remember when Shaman used to recycle itself?
Yeah, that was insane too.
Oh, the horror! The horror of the horror being played against you.
Oh,
Wow, that was rough. That was pretty rough.
yeah. Either are there Kali won the first game, or
They're 1-1 right now, so this is for the
oh,
this
they're
is for the
tied.
win.
So this is so it's looking rough here.
Man, he pulled a Soul Seeker and then a horror. Those are some pretty damn good pulls. Oh, but Bone
Yeah,
King
that's as
takes
good
care
as
of
it
him,
gets.
especially the Soul Seeker, so that you can heal up if you need to. Crypt Spawn. All right. Well, he played on another ally, but he probably figured he won't be able to do anything to kill the Bone. Dirk. Is it Durkon? Durkon, right?
Yeah, I
Yeah.
mean, interesting since he. I mean, yeah, I would have done the same thing, but then if he can kill a Durkin now, it won't get back to the hand.
That's how I lost to him in the third game. Man, I swear to God, I killed that thing like 6 or 7 times, and it was just so annoying because it just kept coming back,
It is
kept
annoying.
hitting me. Like
It's a
Jesus
good card. I
Christ,
like that card a lot.
it is a
I
really
feel
good
like
card.
it's well balanced and everything. It's just good.
And Undead Rainbow went pretty far in this World Championships and the last one. He's kind of been
Yeah,
around for
that
both.
was surprising. I feel like it's like with Bainbow, if you run out of cards, like the draw is so crucial. And I was surprised to see him make that far in the tournament.
Well, it's also 2 years in a row, and it's also a bunch of good players. So it's like you don't. It's hard to be completely surprised when somebody does something in the World Championships because those are all the top players anyway. There goes Suja. And Banebo's draw is always an is issue, right? Because it's like you have to always pay so much for the draw, like Gambit.
Yeah,
And you have to kill the ally
it's
before you
like
get it.
Victor, where you have to like really make a lot of. I mean, get value out of each card. Can't really be, like wasting cards and just dead drops because you don't have like all that much drawing there. Besides the ability for the gambits, I
Whew.
mean, you can't really rely on Wrath on the Forest because you always get that destroyed.
Yeah, there's so much item destruction in the game that it's really hard to rely on it. But if your opponent doesn't have any answer for it right away, then you
Yeah,
get just
that's pretty much a
amazing
good
value.
game.
It does. Ooh, okay. Eye of the
Oh,
Dark
nice.
Forest. Nice. So that's probably his second and last copy. Look at that. Wow.
Oh, and that's Yet style. Oh no.
No, no, just the death it doesn't. But whew,
Oh, it's when he drops. Yeah. No, I
yeah.
never. I haven't really used that card a lot. I mean, I've used it, but I felt like it was too weak. Yeah. I'd rather have like the other big wolf. What's his name?
Riptide.
Rib High. Yeah.
I I agree because especially right now with Elementalis, uh, all those steadfast allies, right, where you can't exile an ally with steadfast. So it's
Right.
like I actually kind of want to put more Riptide, and then but then I'll play Bloodfang instead because I like the free summon for Riptide, and then I can play the Eye of the Forest for 3. And so Riptide comes down and he hits whatever he hits is probably gonna die, right? Comes down and hits for 6.
Yeah. Free Rib Hide's really good. I mean, yeah, I can see why he doesn't have Rib Hide here because the cost is just too high.
No,
But
yeah.
yeah, like with the Know Your Mind card, that card really deals well with the with the low cost allies, and so that's why I don't really.
Whoa.
But what
Okay.
I don't play Wolven all that much, to be honest. Just
That's
feel like they're not really that great.
right now. No, they're not. But when the Eye came out at 2 durability, they were everywhere, and you couldn't. It was almost
Yeah,
as
and
bad
even
as
back
Victor.
then, I had a lot of fun with the ninja. What's his name? The Dark Claw.
Oh, Dark Claw. Yeah.
That was invented. Ninja Dark Claw. That was a deck invented by Raph, BP Raph, where he had like that was like back when Lightning Hunter came out and a bunch of cards. I don't remember like Hasted Ally for Dark Claw. And he would I don't remember what was the gimmick, but he would like recycle something. It was really crazy deck. Like you could finish your opponent like 2 strikes or something.
Oh wow! Look at this closeout.
Yeah, this is pretty good as well. Nice.
Wow.
He just
3 Lightning Hunters in a row.
that's a lot
Wow.
of damage in one turn. Yeah,
Yeah.
that was a good finish.
That was pretty. Wait a minute. How come the third Lightning Hunter didn't get a boost in attack?
Oh, I missed that, but yeah,
Because every
I
time.
wonder if he was planning that the whole game. He probably was because that was a good finish.
Actually, I'm gonna look at the ballista real quick because maybe did they put a limit to the number of allies that you can buff when the oh, congratulations to Inevitable, by the
That's
way.
interesting. Yeah, because it only came up to 3. Yeah.
So, oh, it says once per turn when a friendly ally with cost 4 or greater is summoned. I don't think it
Oh,
was
that's
like
why.
that before, right? It wasn't like that before.
No, I don't think it was.
It was just like you could summon 2 allies 4 or more, 4 cost or more, and you would get the buff for both of them.
Yeah, and I feel like it was all right. I think they probably did that because of the Tinkers. That really makes that weapon something.
Yeah, so Inevitable taking the player run pop up tournament, 8 players. I lost in the first round, of course. Inevitable a lot. Actually, what was I playing? I was playing Terra Dune. Actually, it would have been a good matchup for me, I think, except for the crushers, because I would have been able to handle his weapons. I would have been able to kill his draw, his Blood Moon draw.
Oh
So
yeah, but the Crushers they don't stick that much. So yeah, it would be a good matchup for you. Yeah.
it was too bad. But yeah,
Yeah.
so yeah, we learned something that heavy ballista. God, they nerfed that thing into the fucking ground, man. Took away durability, and they But you see, that's the other thing we were talking about. Right? You said they have to be careful with Victor's ability whenever they make a card. It's the same thing with Moonstalker. Moonstalker screws with so much stuff that you got to be so
That's true.
careful.
Yeah,
That's why they made Blood Moon not give it when no draw if you're stealth. And
which is it's clever. Yeah, and I like that card, Blood Moon.
you know what I
I
what
mean,
I would like to see used more is Grom's axe. I don't know if it's just the cost or what. The one
I've
shadow.
seen a really like interesting deck with that with the where they have like this um what's it called, the slaver, the woven ally that brings out like non-woven allies or
Yeah.
cost 5 or higher. Yeah, and so they put in the Hydra there. What's it called?
Oh,
The
Grimjaw
rabbit.
Hydra.
Yeah, and they hit it with the weapon, and it becomes like a monster in one turn. It was really cool.
You know what I've done with it just playing around is the ally here. I'll put it right here on my screen. You can't see it, but because I didn't do screen share. But the ally the the pup. What's it called? The newest ally that they put into two cost. Uh,
Oh,
insulin pup.
yeah,
Yeah, so you know how you can't target it with your summoned abilities, right? So you can't like throw
like
any
boost
attack,
it. Yeah.
yeah, but you can target it with the axe.
Oh, is that right? I
Yeah,
haven't seen that done yet.
because it's specifically with a targeted ability. You can't use summoned abilities. But the axe isn't a summoned. Yeah, the axe's
It's
ability
the
isn't a
targeted.
summoned.
Yeah, it's
Yeah,
already down.
so
That's
so
cool.
so you're
Who
able
figured
to
that out?
just me. Fuck. All
Oh,
right,
really?
that's my idea, punk. Nobody. Don't take it from me.
That's cool.
So
Yeah,
you
that's it. You
yeah,
can.
so you get a two cost ally, and then you buff it, and all of a sudden you have four damage hasted in. Yeah, and then he gets recycled back to your deck because you attack with them at the end. But I mean that's a quick little you know 4 damage that you can deal. But
That
I
sounds good for a Dark Claw with it. I mean, packing that weapon and then a few allies there get recycled. I mean, sounds cool.
yeah, but I
Feel
mean
like it could be good actually.
it is a fun idea, and it's something to close out with real quick. And it worked a couple times. A couple times I used it and I felt like a genius, but for the most part, it didn't really it didn't really come together. But it's like when it did, I was pretty sure nobody ever saw it coming. All right, so let
Yeah,
me
well,
see.
that's the thing with Shadow Arrow, right? Like most of the cool combos are not really tier 1 decks. You know, like it's a pretty straightforward game.
Yeah, but the combos can work, and when they do work, sometimes you.
Yeah, it's really good. I mean, I feel like it's right in between the middle of a something like Magic, and then you have like Hearthstone, where I don't know, it's just too simple of a card game. Shadow Arrow has a good strategy, and the gameplay is does. I mean, it's a lot of thinking needed for making good plays.
Maybe maybe I'll see if a Nevi will give me his deck so that I could try to play with it. Maybe I'll try making a video of actually me playing with it and failing because I know it's not going to work out for me. But I think it's actually a really good tournament deck. But he showed that it's a good ladder deck too. At least for him, it is. I mean, I can't remember the last time I saw someone with Moonstalker at the top.
Right? Well, yeah, it's been a while.
Other than him,
And
right? Other than him.
I remember who was it that was playing like this male stock.
Yeah, we don't
What
like to
was his
remember
name?
those days. We let those die in the
I've
past.
seen like some male versions, like even now with with everything, you know, all the bands and everything. I've seen like still some male versions
Some
going on in
people,
quick
yeah,
match.
some people still run it because it can still be annoying and it can still wreck certain heroes. But I think for the most part, if you're building a legitimate deck, you find a way to break through eventually for the win.
Yeah, that's probably the most annoying part of Shadow Air. Male.
All right, dude. Well, you know what? Thanks for hanging out. We actually ended up running almost an hour.
Oh
We're
my
right.
god,
We
that's a lot.
it went by. It
Probably
went
can
by.
edit it down.
Yeah. I'll probably just break it up into like two parts or something. We'll see. But maybe I can't get rid of the first match because that's when we introduced everything. So so I
Oh,
don't
that's
yeah maybe I don't know. We'll see. Maybe I'll just break it up into a couple pieces. Yeah, like a couple 20 minuters and see what people want to watch it. They can watch it. But hey, man, thanks for
Man,
jumping on
it's
for
great
me.
you're doing this again. I feel like Shadower is coming back to life, and
Well, you
that's
see,
why I just
that's the thing though. Like it never dies. It's always
yeah,
here.
it never dies really.
It's like
And
I don't
I just got excited with it again, and so I'll be playing a lot, waiting for those new cards. Hopefully, we get some of them this during Christmas time.
yeah, that'd be a
And
pretty
yeah,
sweet
I feel
gift.
like it's gonna be fun. The
Oh
game
yeah.
has a lot of potential.
Yeah, and I'll definitely be doing more of these, and I'll keep you in mind. Maybe a couple other people too, and maybe we can gangbang a couple videos, have like 3 or 4 people on, just talking trash, playing games. I'm sure there's plenty of people that in the community that like doing stuff like this. So we'll figure something out. But again, dude, thanks
Absolutely.
for BP Skurai. That's correct pronunciation, right?
Skurai or Eskurai, any of those is fine actually.
Skurai. Yeah, I don't really care. It's all right. All right. So thanks for thanks for joining me, man. And I'm gonna go ahead
Thanks,
and
man.
close this video, and maybe I'll see you again in the next one, huh?
Yeah, sorry for being a lousy commentator, but hey, had a fun time, so thanks.
Yeah, it's okay. Not everybody can be as good as me. Take care, bud.
All right.